and welcome to my channel. Today's video is another in my Mother's Day 2018 card series. This card design is easy to replicate and I hope you will try it yourself. I'm going to go over some embossing techniques and I'm going to use a punch out to create these very elegant flowers out of vellum. Everything that I'm using will be listed down below in the comment section. I'm using the Stampin Up Dotted Swiss embossing folder, the Stampin Up Something to Celebrate stamp set, Stampin Up Stitched Shapes framelits, Stampin Up Layering Ovals framelits, Stampin Up Field Flowers, Stampin Up Flower Shop, and also the Stampin Up Pansy punch. I'm also going to need some small foam squares and opaque white embossing powder. I'm also going to be using a Stampin' Up A Mother's Love stamp set, which I just have a couple of stamps out of that stamp set. Okay, let's get started. Let's start with the stamping. I'm taking the small white panel and I'm bringing in my MISTI tool, and I need to take out the extra foam because this is a cling stamp, which is a little thicker than the photopolymer. So I have the stamp where I need it to be, but for this stamp, this design, I don't want to have this part of the stamp included. So I'm going to do a little bit of masking with a plain piece of paper. So I'm going to just put it here and it's going to protect the top so that that is not showing. And I'm going to quickly double check and make sure. Yes, that's good. Let's just stamp this up really quick. My ink pad's a little dry. Alright, so then what I get is just the bottom part, which is what I wanted. Alright, clean this up real quick. Now I have a piece of white scrap paper and I'm going to just quickly stamp this front little embellishment. There's something a little bit odd going on with the sound today. I must apologize. I don't know what the cause is, but I'm trying to work on it. I'll see if I can figure it out before the video is over with. Now to stamp the flowers. I put a little mark on my stamp and there's a corresponding mark on my punch, which will help me line the two up as I'm doing it. So this is going to be embossed, so I need to bring in my embossing buddy and give that a run over this vellum. And I need to have my embossing powder ready to go so that I can drop it right in there and bring in my Versamark. So I'm just going to put two flowers on here. It's very simple to do, but make sure that I am mindful of where that mark is. Okay, that's one. You won't be able to see this very well because it's tone on tone. Sorry about the sound. And that's two. And just drop it right into the embossing powder. You should be able to see it now. There. Knock off the extra. And I'm going to emboss this. I'll be right back. Okay, the trick to remember about embossing on vellum is you have to keep that heat tool moving. Don't stay in one place too long or it will warp. So I need to bring in a little piece of paper to protect my work area. And I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending with the Dusty Concord. But notice I'm turning it over. I'm going to blend on the back. I just want to add a little bit of tint to the vellum. Not too much. And I'm doing it on the back because I don't want to put it on the white embossing powder on the front. Just take a second, and I think you can see now the flowers have a purple tint to them. and I don't have to worry about it rubbing off because it's on the back. So this just needs to dry just a few minutes. Okay, moving on. I've trimmed this green panel down to 3 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to use it to get the mat for the front piece, and I'm going to be able to do that because this front panel will completely cover where the cutout is. So you can always get a little bit of paper saving by using your mats very, very wisely that way. While I have the big shot out, I'm going to run this panel through my Dotted Swiss embossing folder. You can easily emboss panels which have been stamped because the embossing process doesn't affect it at all. So I'm going to go do that off camera. So now I have all of the pieces that I need. And as you see, this doesn't hurt it at all. So I have these raised dots all over it. And here's my mat, which will be covered, so you cannot see that little circle. And here is, come on you, my little oval. Alright. Okay, the rest is simple card assembly, so I'm going to put everything together while the music plays. And that is the finished card. It was very simple to do, and I hope that you will try it yourself. And I made a little bit of mistake. I should have stamped the sentiment on it before I put the background on it, and I tried to compensate for that, and I didn't get all the letters stamped, and I really should have used my stamping mat. This is a very important thing to have when you're using wood stamps, because it gives you a little bit extra push, and you can be sure that you get a good imprint of your stamping. Also for silhouette stamps, which are stamps which have an all over design. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'd like to thank my brother David for the music, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Take care everyone, and have a happy Mother's Day.